What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode here of the Bengals Crypt podcast. Going to be talking about the extremely disappointing game against the Patriots. For the most part in this episode, we do have a few other things to discuss, but that's the main thing. I have a solid number of notes here. So, the offense in general just started slow. It really ended slow if you really think about it. It did heat up a little bit at the end, but offense looked terrible. 3 and out after 3 and out after 3 and out. Big reasons for it. The running game was as bad as it looked in the preseason. It, until the second half, didn't have very good runs. Maybe along the 7. I think that was in the second half too, though. So, I was not impressed by that. Zach Moss didn't do too much. It was just a really disappointing game overall. But it is what it is. We're on to the next one. Keep it moving. I have a lot to say, but at the same time, I feel like it's going to be a lot. A lot of these notes are kind of repeat points. The O-line got overwhelmed by the blitz. It got absolutely rotated. There's a play where the entire interior of the O-line was running after D linemen and linebackers because they all got through and sacked Joe Burrow. I don't even remember how many times he got sacked today or the other day. It was like at least 3 times, though. Sure. The O-line they didn't block well for the run. It didn't block well for the pass. Trent Brown looked horrible, as I said he would. He is the definition of someone who is going to go through, get a big payday, and just sit. Like a month before the regular season started, he goes, I guess I'll get into football shape. So that's how I picture him in my mind now. I always have. I knew he was lazy as hell, injured all the time. So, yeah. I don't respect the man. I think he's terrible. I think he's just he just looked. Most O linemen are strong. He just looks like just fat. Like he gets bulldozed by small people. He just irritates me. The run defense, even it was supposed to be improved, but it got absolutely crushed by Ramondre Stevenson. Several missed tackles behind the line of scrimmage would have been great. Didn't get it done. The whole game really was just really bad. I'm hoping to chalk it up to just like the Jets game from the Super Bowl year, or it was just a random bad game, but we always start slow, so something tells me that's what it is. Hopefully, it's not a sign of things to come for next week. Something tells me it is. The pass defense wasn't actually that bad. They gave up a few big plays here and there, but for the most part, it was the tackling after the catch that resulted in big plays. We weren't giving up massive plays down the field. So I was impressed by that. And due to the fact that they were going with that quick passing game, the pass rush didn't have a lot of time to get there. They had several opportunities to get sacks. The only one was Dax Hill, and that was just because he slid out of the pocket with pressure coming, and then he couldn't get back to the line of scrimmage before Dax Hill got to him, so he just kind of slid down. Ryan Rico, this man, he is the player of the game. He broke the Bengals' all-time longest punt with an 80-yard punt in his first career start. That's insane. Brad Robbins getting injured was the worst thing for his career. Because now we know what this man can do. Massive punts. And then he had 2 that were just shorter field punts, so they didn't get as many yards, but still good punts. He almost pinned his longest one, the 81. Another player I was really impressed with in the run defense was Jay Tufeli. Had multiple tackles for loss, was able to get through the defense or offensive line pretty well, shoot some gaps, get to the running back, actually be able to tackle him. So that was good. Our first down for the offense didn't come until 10 and a half minutes left in the second quarter on our fourth drive. Terrible. Looked like the Bears out there when we played them with our backup defense. On the same drive, we got a screen pass to Zach Moss. He took it for 12 yards. It was a really good play. Kind of started shifting the momentum for us a little bit. And then we had that great pass to Gesicki back of the end zone. Fortunately, he couldn't come down with it. He went out there, did the McGriddle for nothing. That was an unfortunate play that resulted in the next unfortunate play. Tanner Hudson literally was hold on. This man had the ball out here and was like he was gonna dive, but he just left the ball out there. So easily gonna get hit out. He's not protecting the football. He's 2 yards away from the end zone. And he just fumbles, which is picked up by the Patriots. So there's a score that's off the board. A ridiculous score. So if he just protected the football, we may be winning this game. Who knows? Another fortunate play, similar to the Mike Gesicki touchdown. Geno Stone just couldn't hang on to the interception. And then a couple plays later, I mean, he had it all the way to the ground and the receiver ripped it out. But he just couldn't hang on to the interception there in the back of the end zone. They get 3 off of that. So the fumble ended up, I want to say they got a field goal off the fumble. They got a field goal off the dropped interception. So that's 6 points right there, which is what we lost by. Keep that in mind. I already talked about the Dax Hill sack. Charlie Jones forced this is what sparked the end. The beginning of the end. Charlie Jones fumbles. That punt return fumble was what sparked the end. He got hit. The helmet of the long snapper hit the ball. It popped out. Pats picked it up. And unfortunately, they got a field goal off of that. So actually what I was thinking of, those 2 field goals, the interception drop was actually coming off of the fumble by Hudson. And then this fumble resulted in a field goal as well. And that was after we got a 3-and-out on the Pats to start the third quarter. So it just crushed any momentum we could have taken off of that. And then on the next drive, we failed to go. We went for it on 4th down, did a little wide receiver screen, and Yoshi just threw contact. We needed 2. We only got 1 there. And Logan Wilson nearly got a crushing sack on Jacoby Brissett. Unfortunately, got the ball off, but had he gotten there a second sooner and he tried to throw that, it may have been a fumble. Fortunately, it's just a throwaway, basically. Our next drive, we got our only touchdown of the game. Zach Moss had a couple really big runs, and then he ended up getting the touchdown. So his first career touchdown with the Bengals ends up being touchdown of the game and our first touchdown for the season. Jamar Chase and Yoshi also had some big catches on that drive to keep it going. So we had some momentum going there, and then on the next defensive drive, Logan Wilson forces the fumble. Unfortunately, the Patriots keep it. They end up having to punt after that, but they keep it. And then Jamar Chase, the next offensive drive, there's a huge pass to Jamar Chase down the field, but then The Pats D line got a lot of pressure. All three plays, we went 3-and-out on that set of downs. We ended up kicking a 51-yard field goal, and then we got a 3-and-out. So we get the 3-and-out, huge. But then the offense goes out there and just does terrible. We punt, and then we can't stop the run. Game over. That is essentially what happened. But like I said, very disappointing game. Hopefully we get back on track next week. We're not going to have T. Higgins against the Chiefs. Not good. They have good corners. They have a good D-line. So unless we just randomly fix something, like maybe get Jermaine Burr, perhaps, could help. But enough about that game. It's over. It's done. I don't want to reminisce on it too much. It was a bad game. There wasn't a whole lot of positive that came out of it. So let's go and take a look at last week's game predictions. Now, I didn't change anything, so I'm not going to show it here. But obviously, I got the Bengals and Pats game wrong. We've already talked about that. I got let's start at the bottom here. I got the Chiefs-Ravens game right. I almost lost that one. It almost went to overtime there, and actually, they would have went for two. So I either would have lost on a 2-point or I would have won on a 2-point. But instead, a toe results in the game tying play going out of bounds, and the Chiefs end up getting the victory there. I also got the Eagles-Packers game right. Eagles getting the victory over the Packers. Really easy game for them. I mean, it was close, but they smoked them in the second half. Saquon Barkley went for like 3 touchdowns, so it was crazy. Then, as predicted, the Vikings. Well, I didn't think it was going to be this bad, but the Vikings absolutely smoked the Giants. 28-6 was a dominant victory. Sam Darnold didn't look too bad. I was pretty impressed with him. I mean, he did throw that one interception, but other than that, it's fine. And the Saints absolutely crushed the Panthers. It's the same old Panthers that we all know. Bryce Young is not improved. He looked terrible. Threw an interception on the first drive of the game. I wasn't impressed with them, and Derek Carr looked really good, though. He looked really good. Then a game I thought would be a blowout ended up being pretty close. I did predict it right. It was the Dolphins and the Jaguars. The Dolphins kind of came out a little flat. Maybe it had something to do with the whole Tyreek Hill situation, getting put in cuffs and everything, but I don't know how to predict stuff like that. It's just crazy. It was a tight game. Both defenses played well. Jags gonna hope to play well like that against other teams that aren't as good. Maybe they'll get some more wins, or maybe they'll just choke away a whole season again. Then I got the Texans and Colts. I didn't think it would be this close. Ended up being 29-27. Both offenses were just really good, and the defenses gave up a lot. So I didn't get to watch this one, but I probably is a good game to go back and watch. Bit of a surprise. Anthony Richardson definitely did a lot better than anticipated based off of the preseason games. Disgusting game of the entire, well, other than the Bengals game, of course, of the entire week one. The Titans and the Bears. I got this wrong. I said the Titans would win. Brian Callahan, my boy over there. Yeah, this game was terrible. How do you choke that? Bears got a punt return touchdown, a pick six. I don't think they had an offensive touchdown. Hold on. Let me confirm that real quick. Yeah. So how did they get their other touchdown? Don't tell me they got 2 kick return touchdowns. No. It's pick six. It's just not showing there. I'll have to look at the game highlights real quick. That was the pick six, and they went for oh, that's what it is. They end up going for two sometimes. They got a field goal, two field goals, a punt return touchdown, and a pick six where they went for two. Or no. Correction. It was a blocked punt that went for a touchdown. So, yeah, overall, the Titans shot themselves in the foot. They would have had an easy win. Instead, the Bears defense gives them a W. And then a really good game against the Bills and the Cardinals, kind of a surprise. And another surprise, Marvin Harrison Jr. really had nothing to do with it. Most part, it's just Kyler Murray doing his thing. Not really, honestly. He only had 162 yards. The running game did pretty good. Murray had 57 yards. James Conner had 15 a touchdown. There had to be like a defensive touchdown. I know there was a kick return touchdown. So I did get it right. The Bills got a win, but it was a lot closer than I would have expected. But maybe that's a sign of that receiver room not being very good. I mean, they did okay too. Josh Allen had 232, but their number one receiver was Keon Coleman with 51 yards. And then another game I got wrong here. I said the Steelers would beat the Falcons. I mean, the Falcons would beat the Steelers. Kirk Cousins looked like trash. But I said it before in the week one prediction that it was going to be a close game. Hard to really predict there. So I'm not too mad at that one. Then the Seahawks beat the Broncos. That was just it was 26-20, but both those teams looked like hot garbage. The Chargers beat the Raiders. No one's surprised there. I got that one right. The Bucks smoked the dang Commanders. Chase Daniels, that's his name. Jaden Daniels. He didn't look too good. I mean, none of the rookie QBs really impressed this week. I wasn't very impressed with any of them. And I don't think they're going to. I think some of them will end up doing better in week two, but I don't think this is just another bust of a QB class. I got this one wrong. I said the Browns would beat the Cowboys. That did not happen. They actually got blown out by the Cowboys. I don't know. No, I should have seen this one coming. The Cowboys are not trash. It's just they didn't do a lot to help themselves, but then Dak and CD got their contracts, so all is well for them. The Lions beat the Rams. Not a surprise there. I had that predicted right. And the 49ers absolutely smoked Aaron Rodgers and the Jets. So Aaron Rodgers threw an interception. They just got bullied by the great 49ers defense, and then the 49ers offense just went on a field goal fest, basically. So it ended up being 12-4 in this week's predictions. So with that being said, let's jump into next week's or I guess this week's predictions, as the game is on Thursday. I actually have Kansas City over the Bengals. With the way we performed this week, fortunately, it's unlikely that we get the win. We're going to be moving to 0-2 for the third year in a row, I think. I just don't think the Bengals are ready yet for the Chiefs, and that's just unfortunate. The Bills and the Dolphins have had the Bills number in the last couple of years. They did come with a tight game against the Jags, but I think with the Bills' problems on offense, the Dolphins are going to go ahead and get that W. I think with the Bills struggling against the Cardinals, maybe the Cardinals are just really good now, but it seems to me they're going to struggle majorly against good teams this year. Saints and the Cowboys. I got Dallas on this one. The Saints came out hot. I think they're going to get cooled off this time. They they played the Panthers. It's hard to gauge what you're going to do when you're playing against the Panthers. I think they're going to get cooled off this week. They're going to fall to the Cowboys. The Bucks and the Lions, the Lions. This is going to be a hot take. I'm going with the Bucks this week. They did really well. Yes, it was against the Commanders. The Lions are better. But I think Baker showed some things that he's ready to get this team on track. And he's going to go ahead and win this division for like a third year in a row. The Colts and the Packers. Colts put up a good performance against the Texans. Offense looked good, defense looked okay. The Packers are starting Malik Willis or maybe Ryan Tannehill if they sign him. I don't see the Packers doing much until Jordan Love comes back. I got the Colts in this one. Jets, Titans. I don't know, because the Titans are chokers and the Jets just got smoked. I'm going to go Jets here. I think their offense is going to be a little bit better against a weaker defense. Aaron Rodgers didn't look terrible yesterday. They're going to be able to get the running game going. The Titans didn't score a single point after half. If they do that again against a better defense who played pretty well against the 49ers, even though they ended up getting destroyed, I don't think the Titans stand a chance there, especially with Will Levis back there. He did not perform well. 49ers, Vikings. Vikings had a good game, but it was against the Giants, and the 49ers are not the Giants. They're going to get a welcome. Well, Sam Darnold's in a revenge game, but he's going to get a welcome home. I think it's in the Vikings Stadium, but still. The 49ers are not getting beat by that man. Seahawks, Patriots. Patriots got this. I guess they're actually predicted to lose by most of the nation, but the Patriots showed strength. They had a great defense, great running game, decent passing game. The Seahawks struggled against the Broncos. I don't see the Seahawks getting a win here. Obviously, it's week 1. Things are going to change. Hopefully the Bengals aren't trash for the whole season. But still, I think Jaden Daniels goes out and gets his first career win against the New York Giants. Daniel Jones is trash. He's going to continue to be trash. He is the epitome of why they will lose this game and why they will lose many other games this season. So they're drafting someone to replace him. Chargers, Panthers, easy Chargers. They have a really easy start to their season with the Raiders in week 1, the Panthers in week 2 now. The Panthers got smoked, and they're improved. Chargers have pass rush. Bryce Young. All right, Jaguars, Browns. We're going Jags here. They put up a good fight against the Dolphins. The Browns look like hot and absolute garbage. It's a possibility that the Jags offense isn't able to do much today, but they proved they can win in those, almost win in those tough defensive matchups. So Ravens, Raiders. Raiders proved Gardner Minshew is not going to be having any Minshew mania this year. Baltimore is going to absolutely smoke the Raiders, who only put up 10 points against the Chargers, who I don't think are going to be very good, but who knows after week 1, we'll have to see in week 2. So I got the Ravens there, and I'll go back and I'll show you all these. I forgot to be doing that. Rams, Cardinals. I got the Cardinals in this one. I think against the Bills. Even though we talked about that game, it was kind of rough, but I think they'll get the win over the Rams there. Rams didn't show too much promise. I mean, they did decent against the Lions, but still, I got the Cardinals winning that one. Steelers Broncos. I got the Steelers. Russ might be back, but regardless, Bo Nix is going to struggle against that Steelers front seven. I don't think he's going to do enough to get the victory there. And Bears Texans. This will not be another Caleb Williams lucky win. The Texans are going to win this, and it's going to be domination. We're going to see their offense scored 0 points. 0. They are not beating the Texans scoring 0 points. Eagles Falcons. Eagles going to get this one. They'll start 2-0. The Falcons looked absolutely terrible last week, and they played the Steelers. They're not winning against the Eagles. So discuss some things here. I guess I didn't keep that one, but I think I got to turn the brightness down. I think that's what I did do last time. Yep, there you go. Got Kansas City there, unfortunately. Got Miami there. Got Dallas winning over the Saints. And if you can't see it, that little circle next to the team name at the bottom where it says game picks, that's where I have it selected. Right there, I got Buccaneers over Detroit. Got the Colts over the Packers. I got the Jets over the Titans. '49ers over Minnesota. Patriots over Seattle. Washington over New York. LA over Carolina. Jacksonville over Cleveland. Baltimore over Las Vegas. Arizona over LA. Pittsburgh over Denver. Houston over Chicago. And Philly over Atlanta. All right, and the last thing I have to talk about here, I know this is a bit of a short one. I'm still feeling a little sick, though, so I'm trying to get out of here pretty quickly. At least I'm not coughing my head off. So that is the week 2 predictions. Hopefully we're able to keep our good record going. The hot take for the week. We did not reach it last week. Not by a long shot. But I think hot take for this week, we're going to intercept. No, let's go sacks. We didn't get a lot of them last week. We only got 1. I think we're going to get 3 sacks against Mahomes. That's a hot take. We usually don't get more than 1 against Mahomes. We'll see if we're able to get it done. If we do, we may actually get a win. Who knows? But that's going to be it for this one. I appreciate y'all coming through, supporting the Bengals here. Who dey to all you Bengals fans out there, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a good day. Bye.